Check 1 2, check 1 2. So let's see if this is okay now. Just a quick check. Are you guys hearing an echo? Is my sentence repeating again? Let me know in the chat. Oh, wait. What's going on, y'all? I think I see what the issue can be right now. I think I just heard it on repeat because I had Twitch open in one window and YouTube in another video, and they came in at a different time. Okay, so let me just switch my headphone real quick because I was listening to the computer sound, but then I hear everything with a mad delay. There you go. Now I can hear myself in a normal fashion. That is better. I might try something a little bit later, see if that works as well. But for now, we're gonna keep it like this. I'm gonna fix that screen in a second. Seeing a bunch of stuff there that we don't need. Monitor off, monitor off. Okay, that's okay. Right. So I got myself in a little corner over there right now, but if I'm not gonna use any background, I'll just make that bigger in a sec. What's going on? It's your boy DJ TLM. You're watching Share the Knowledge Live, STK Live, my weekly Q&A show for DJs. This is all about us just having some fun, talking shop, talking DJ, and you can drop any DJ related questions, topics, you name it right here. Salute to all the people on YouTube, Twitch, Periscope, Facebook, wherever you're tuning in from. Our restream chat seems to be working. We got follows coming in. What up, Frisco? I see you. Dylan, great ideas. You're gonna have to clarify that one for a sec, just to let me know. Are you talking about ideas for how to set your crates, how to arrange your crates? Let me know. Actually, I might just use some of this for just some screen sharing anyway. What it do? Brainpower, #1 MC. I see you, bro. So yeah, like I said, I might just make myself a little bigger in a second if I'm not gonna do the screen sharing thing. So I wanted to do this on Sunday during plugging in, just show some software, and I'm having like issues getting all of the audio to work correctly. So what happened the last time is I was getting this crazy echo, but not just me. You were getting that crazy echo. We're getting like an echo loop. I tried to plug things in different ways, and then we were dealing with weird like audio noises. So I might do some experimenting during this STK live just to see if I can get things working right for Sunday. And yes, we will most definitely talk about Rane One. I knew for a fact that that was coming up. I'm just gonna hold off on that for a little while just to make sure that we get all the people in here. Otherwise, I can just predict right now that every 20 minutes someone's gonna come in and start talking about the Rane One. Okay, HZ says the world has gone way too digital. Let me know how you mean that. In what way has it gone too digital? What do you feel has gone too far? So instead of just screaming some statement, give us a little bit more, clarify. I updated to new Mac software, and for some reason Serato doesn't recognize it. Any advice? Mark, I've heard a lot of warnings about that in the last couple of weeks. Like, hold off on updating to, so I guess that's updating to Big Sur, right? Because certain software isn't ready. So I'm not sure. I'm currently not on a Mac, so I haven't run into that issue. But it's always the case that when a new operating system version comes out, always make sure that you check with all of the software that you use regularly if it is already compatible. So I remember that I think Serato, Pioneer DJ, and a bunch of others like sent out a warning like straight away, do not update, because they were not ready for it. And I'm not sure when they were going to be ready, if they're ready, but that could be the issue. That could be the issue. So I do not know if that's the case. So for all the Mac users in here, is that a fact? Is the latest version of Mac OS not compatible with Serato yet? Let us know in the chat, because you know. Bernard, the microphone output. I'm currently using the Rode Pod mic, and it is connected to my Rodecaster Pro. What I use for my podcast, to record a podcast, the mic goes into that. Now, the Rodecaster Pro has just a bunch of settings in there. So when it comes to the dynamics for the microphone, I currently just have it set to, first off, I have the microphone selected. So you can actually, when you go to your channel, it's a shame I cannot share that little display on the Rodecaster Pro. I'm working on a full video on this device, but you can find it online as well. But you can select your microphone, and it has a bunch of microphones in there, just like a template for the microphone. So for the pod mic, since it's the same brand, they have a template in there. So I have that selected. And then when it comes to the audio processing, I got a high pass filter on, I got a noise gate on, a de-esser on, and a bit of compression, and their Aphex plugin as well. The I don't remember exactly what it does. It's an oral exciter. I was looking for that. So all of that is turned on, and I haven't changed too much of the standard settings, kind of like what the sound does. So yeah, I'm very happy with this. Like the Rodecaster Pro is not a cheap device. These microphones are actually very affordable, in my opinion. They're like $100, and you get a microphone that's actually built like a tank. This is like a full-on weapon right here. It's well built. It's heavy. I really like the look. I know I can probably get a little bit, improve the audio a little bit if I put the little cap on top of this, but then it just takes all the flavor of that microphone away. Then you'll just see like a black cover. It'll look like some big version of like a SM7B. I don't know. I love the look. I'm willing to work with that. You'll get a couple of extra crackles and sounds like that when I'm that close. Cool thing is, when I'm recording my podcast, I will record it, try to be within a close proximity of the microphone. Like the closer you get, the warmer and fuller the sound gets. But also, if you get too close to a microphone, you're going to get all of those sounds as well. But when I do my editing for the podcasts, I'm using Isotope RX8, and there's a lot of features in there that will help you then take out some of those breathing noises, some of those clicks and S's that come out of your mouth. And yeah, I like it. So do you use the Rodecaster Pro for your DJ sound as well? No. When I'm live streaming and I'm mixing, my audio is just coming straight from whatever DJ mixer I'm using. So in the last couple episodes, that was the S9. Before that, it was either the Rane 72 or the Reloop Elite. And then I just go from the master output. No, not even the master. In some cases, I use a second master output. Sometimes I use the booth output. And the microphone is just connected straight to the DJ mixer. So that's what I use for the live streaming. I wanted to do it with the Rodecaster Pro and have like the samples in there, and I might do that. I know that works as well. I know DJs who use that as well, but it's not truly necessary. Have you ever broken your S9 fader? No, I haven't broken the fader on the S9. I've broken a fair amount of faders on mixers, especially on my Vestax mixers. Not on the S9 yet. So Rigus, just a simple tip when it comes to starting your stream. The simple tip to start streaming is just to start streaming with whatever you have, so you can just gain the experience. So don't worry too much about what kind of microphone do you need. So for instance, if all you have right now is your phone, you could actually stream from your phone. Now, if you're gonna do DJ sets from your phone, the audio is gonna be pretty terrible most of the time. So in that case, you probably should have some sort of audio interface that can capture your audio from your DJ set and then bring that into your phone. But still, that is a very cheap way to begin. Find some little tripod that can hold your phone. Get something like an iRig that you can connect to your phone. There's other options as well. It all depends on what kind of equipment you have now. But starting is the most important thing. Like, for instance, I start new shows now all the time. Like last Sunday, I did my first episode of Plugging In, where I wanted to do everything with screen sharing and you name it. And basically, it went terribly wrong. I don't care. I mean, of course, I would have liked it to go well, and it didn't. So after trying for like 30 minutes, I had to just tell the viewers, like, hey, as you can tell, it's not working right now. And I had to go back to work. So I had to cut the stream short. But I learned from that experience as well. So I'm not going to be sitting here and preparing everything to the T to make sure everything is perfect, because that's just not how life works. And I'd rather just get the hours in. Now, mind you, if I can avoid technical issues like I had last time, I would. But I feel it's more important to just do. And if you're just starting out now, not to be demotivating right now, but you're not going to have viewers when you start out. So you can actually just use that time to find out how everything works. So you don't have to worry, like some people, if they go on and they have like a couple of hundred people straight away, then it's a shame if things don't work out. But for me personally, like with that Sunday show, I'm not promoting that like crazy yet. And there were people who jumped in, but it wasn't like we had a mad amount of people there. Compared to, for instance, the mix shows, where it's now growing as people start to see that I'm there every week. And for me personally, that show is growing most weeks. I'm getting more comfortable finding my ways when I'm streaming, even though I already had like plenty of live streaming experience. Every time you do it, you get more comfortable, you learn more, you hear your own mistakes when you make them, even though you guys might not always see. I do. And I take that with me for the next stream. Have you used the Allen Heath scratch mixer? No, I haven't. I haven't yet. I haven't even seen that one yet, I think. But I have not used it. Okay. Can I? Oh no, I can scroll through it here. Right. I'm looking at my OBS screen, and I just literally tried to scroll through the comments on screen. Wow. Let me get my restream screen in here for a second, because I definitely missed out on a bunch. Oh wow, I don't even have that open yet. Let me just get that open, because there's a lot of comments coming through from the chats, from the different chats. But as I'm answering, I see a bunch go by. What do you mean doesn't exist? So for those wondering what I mean when I say restream, restream.io, that's the service I use to stream my shows from my own streaming setup to multiple platforms. So I'm not going straight to Twitch or straight to YouTube or Facebook. I stream to Restream, and they send my stream to whichever platform I have selected. So for now, I'm on YouTube, Twitch, Periscope, and Facebook. And with my mix shows, I'm on Mixcloud and Twitch and Periscope until Periscope disappears. Dynablend, what's going on? Marcus, what's going on? Nah, I know I already missed a bunch of names. DJ Mims, what up? So let me open in a browser. Yes, please. All right, so as the Restream chat will come in, I'll get to see a bunch of your things now. And I did have a window open with Twitch and YouTube. So let me just take a look at those chats for now, because I can't scroll through here. All right, let me do a little round while we're at it. So I'm Ronnie, what's going on? Bonsoir. Mark Malik, I saw you already. DJ KSA, what's going on? We got Oral on Facebook. How you doing? Got DJ Oldie 70, and who else is in there? Original Fresh Prince, OFP in the building. What's good? Gus Gomez, of course. Saw you already. Raul Hernandez, what's going on? HZ in the building. Walter's in here. DJ Rodney B, what up? What up? All-Star Cruisers. All of you. Dylan with the crate ideas. Let me see if you already expanded on that one. You ain't seen me, okay? Hi, does phase work okay? Phase works excellently for me. It is super. I absolutely love it. For me, it's the biggest game changer ever. Oh, HC, that's a good question. HZ, my bad. The question is, do you still use real vinyl sometimes? And what's your thoughts on it regarding the feel and experience? So, I've mentioned this a couple of times, but not that many, not that often. I have a mix show on Monday called Crates. I'm here every Monday, and every last Monday of the month, my crate show will be an all vinyl show. So every month you can catch me doing one show with strictly vinyl. I mean, it's a little bit dark over there, but in the back you can probably see a little bit of vinyl. I mean, I can turn my lights up a little bit for a sec so you can probably see a bit more. Let's see, is that you? No, that's not you. That is you. Does that help? No, not really. Okay, but there's a lot of vinyl there. All of that vinyl is not sorted, so that's gonna be one hell of a job for me, but I'm cool with it. Oh yeah, you can, there's a delay. You can actually see it better now, but I'm turning that light back down because that made me look like I'm white as a ghost. But yeah, so every last crates of the month will be an all vinyl show. So I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of work, but it's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of things that don't happen to me normally anymore, like record skipping, warped vinyl, you name it. But I'm looking forward to doing that. All right, so continuing on with the shout outs and answering questions at the same time. Would you recommend to leave phase on charge on the receiver connected to electricity when you're not using it? Will that downgrade the phase life? I'm actually not sure. I mean, like, most batteries do have a life, and I believe they do, like the capacity kind of decreases over time. I don't really do that, especially when I'm streaming here now. I'll just turn the laptop on like a while before I start streaming, and phase is connected to the laptop, so they'll be charging. And if I do a set, like a 2-3 hour set, most of the times they're at, I don't know, I think still at 40% or something like that. So I'll put them back in the charger. They'll probably charge for an hour or something before I leave, and then when I do my next stream, I'll have them on before I go on. So it's not like I leave them just on juice the entire time. That's not really necessary. They charge fairly quick as well. So I haven't tried that, but I do assume that over time you'll see like a decrease in battery life. But since I'm not doing like 6-hour sets, I don't think I have to worry about that anytime soon. Like I said, like most of the times when I stream, it's like 2-3 hours. If I'm DJing at a venue, I mostly play like 2-hour sets, something like that. And if I play at an event where there's multiple DJs and I might be there all night, I do a set, then another DJ does a set. While that DJ plays, I'll have them in the charger. And then when it's my turn to go again, I just put them on again. And that hasn't let me down either. What do you think about the new Rane control? Yeah, we saw that. Rane One, we're gonna talk about Rane One. That is for sure. We got DJ Harry UK in the building. What's going on? DJ Eyes. Das Hog is back. Wells. Mo One, what up? Does anyone know if you can live stream in stereo on Twitch using your phone with the IK Multimedia iRig Pro IO, or will it be a mono signal? I haven't used that yet. I would assume it can do stereo, but no, I'm not sure. I don't want to say something I don't know. But doesn't it state it on the IK Multimedia website? I think it should state what kind of signal it can deliver. I would assume stereo. MIC in the building, of course. I saw that Windows comment. Knew that was you. DJ Reese is back. What up? Yeah, Bernard is in here. We talked about the mic already. Let's see. So MIC says, if you move to Windows 10 and your app is not working, Microsoft has a team in place to get it to work. But how does that work though? Like I will not pretend to be any type of computer expert, but if there's a new for instance, let's say like Windows 10 goes to a new version, and isn't it up to the developers of the other software to make it compatible? Don't they have to like update certain things to get it to work with a new operating system? Or is that with Windows something that the Windows team could do? I mean, that sounds dope. Like if I update to the newest Windows version and I see that one of my apps isn't working, if I could give you guys a call, like in this case, you just said it. So I have your number. I'm going to call you. And so your team could get it to work then? That would be dope. Got DJ NLH in the building. What up? What up? Yes, you wanted to talk about the Rane One. We will do that for sure. So let's get back to that digital comment, and then I'm going to switch over to Restream, see if it's already loaded fully. So HZ says, I feel like the actual feel of music has been lost somewhere along with all this digital. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I mean, I still run into music and musicians and DJs that still have a lot of musicality. So I don't think that's necessarily true. Now, of course, since things have gone digital and technology has lowered the threshold, so more people are now producers and DJs, and let me get my cam back. So in this era, a lot of people have now become DJs, producers, videographers, you name it. I think I just hit record, right? Let me see. Yeah, turn it off. So yes, you will have a lot more people in there that might not have the skill, the feeling, the experience, you name it. But there's still a ton of people out there, especially in music, who definitely have that musicality. I did not turn that record off. Did I do now? We'll see. Okay, MIC says if you upgraded from Windows 7 to Windows 10, so that's now. But I assume that if Windows would now go to a new operating system, like now, there's going to be a transition period for the other developers to get their software to work with that version, right? Okay, so Big Sur is not updated for Serato. So yeah, for the people who did just update their OS X, the OS operating system for Mac, I mean, it could be that certain software doesn't work yet. Anthony Watts is in here. What's going on? Old school late starter trying to keep old school music live. The demand is there, but not the market. Okay, let me read that again. So the demand is there, but not the market. To me, that doesn't really make sense, because if there's demand, then there is a market. If you catch my drift, like just my thoughts. So if you know that you live in an area and there's a demand for old school music in this case, then there is a market. And if it's not there because there's no parties there yet, there's an opportunity for you to fill that gap. So if you know for a fact that there's a demand for a certain style of music in an area, and if that demand is not being met by the promoters who live there, who operate there, that's a perfect opportunity to find some small venue. Like, let's just not think about the fact that we're in a pandemic right now and a lot of places do not have this option at all. But moving beyond this pandemic, if you have the option to find a small venue, so your investment is not going to be crazy, that does not hold a lot of people, but enough to have a fun time. And let's be honest, you can have a venue with 50 people and have a great time, but like a small venue, like maybe up to 100 peeps, something like that, organize that party, make sure you get that crowd that would like that music in there, and build from there. That's always a good option. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work, and you move on. And if you know for a fact there is a demand in the area, give it more than one try. Sometimes it will take time to get the people to understand that something is there, something that they would like is actually there. But yeah, if there's a demand, there is a market, or you can create that market. DJ Invest in the building, of course, was good. So I just scrolled back to just check some names, and now I'm also catching up on questions that I missed. Ken Ark is in the building. What's going on? What is Gus Gomez saying? Like, I use the EVRE 320, and it's a monster but expensive. I'm gonna Google that right now because I do not know what that is. I do not know what that is, bro. What do you say? EVRE 320. You have me curious now. So if I have to guess, I say that's where is it? Oh, that's a microphone. Oh, okay. I did not know that one. DJ Nikki's, what's going on? Or is it Nikki Z? Could be Nikki Z. Just tried to sign up for FRP Live by using PayPal, but when I go to pay, I'm not given a price on how much I will be charged. Are you able to confirm that I will be charged $20 a month? FRP. Ooh, my mind is not working along with me right now. FRP. What's FRP again? Oh, got you. Franchise record pool. Ooh, no, I cannot confirm anything for you. I used to use franchise record pool. That's like 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago. So I'm not gonna make any type of statements about payment process on a website like that. I have no idea. I don't even know what their current price is. So no, I don't know. Who else we got here? We got WH4 Video. Thanks for the follow. Rob Spin, thank you for following as well. Marcus Franklin, listening in the ride. All right, drive safely though. Or you're listening, that's actually good. As long as you're not watching the screen right now, I'm all for it, bro. Ivan, what's good? It's me, DJ Mario. Hey, I've seen you before. I recognize that name. It's me, Mario. Mel, what up? Brooklyn, New York in the building. See, that's what happens when I jump around. I went from YouTube scrolling through the chat, and now I'm at the bottom of the Twitch chat. So I'm seeing like totally different parts of conversations now. It's all good. All right, we're about to get into Rane One. I mean, that was going to be the main topic today, even though I don't know if I'm going to spend that much time on it. So yeah, for now I'm going to leave all of those conversations. I'm going to scroll down so I'm up to speed. If I missed any of your comments, you can always holler back. Oh, het is Haagse Mark. Ja man, natuurlijk. Jou ken ik. Zeker. Let's see who else is in here. I think I missed a couple. And yeah, I hadn't heard the name Franchise Record Pool in a while. I knew they were still around, but I haven't really checked anything out. I mean, there's already so much music coming at me that I'm not really looking for more input. Real quick, before we do Rane One, Simeon has a question here. I'm new in producing music. How do you recommend to post my sets in YouTube without problems in striking? So that's two different things. You're new to producing music. So if you're going to do sets on YouTube with music you produced, then you'll have no issues at all when it comes to copyrights, because it's all your music. Now, if it's two different things and you're producing, but you do DJ sets on YouTube, you're gonna run into the copyright issues. It doesn't have to be a big issue. In certain cases, they'll just identify whatever song in your set through their content ID system, and then they're gonna claim that content, meaning that they're gonna have ads running on your content. In other cases, they might block your video all over or in certain countries, And what happened to me once is that I received a notice that said I was it was a policy violation. That was the moment that I decided not to do music streams on YouTube anymore. Kind of messed up there because last Friday I was doing a music stream. I was doing certified bangers, and I accidentally streamed to YouTube. Didn't cause any issues, but that was a mistake. So that's not happening again. I'm staying away from YouTube when it comes to music. So currently it's going to be Mixcloud, Twitch, and Periscope until Periscope stops. And I'll have to do some extra research to see what is going to happen after that. If Twitter is going to take over and do some version like Periscope, or if it's the end of their whole live streaming adventure. So that's it. Do you think practicing 1-2 hour sets at home will help for when you DJ at clubs? You should definitely do 1 to 2 hour sets at home. I advise that you even do up to at least 4 hour sets at home. That will prepare you for a lot more. So, I mean, I guess there are still places where DJs do a lot of 6 hour sets. I used to do those in my earlier days. I haven't done that in a long time. If you plan to do sets like that, then you need to practice that long. But if you want to play like 2 hour sets in clubs, it will be great if you're prepared for more than 2 hours, just in case, and to get a feel for how that works. So yeah, if you have the time, practice longer. And yes, record your practice sets so you can listen back. So Eli says that, and I always used to do that. Record my sets on tape and listen back on cassette, actual cassettes. Just pop a tape in, hit record, start mixing. When you're mixing, especially when you're still learning, you can get so caught up in all of the things that you have to do. Like you're spending way more time on cueing the record and beat matching, and you'll forget things like your timing might be a little bit off, or you forgot the EQ. So when you listen back, you can hear exactly what you did, and then you visualize like, oh yeah, I was doing that. Next time I'll think of that, or I need to practice that. So record your sets. Did you DJ for a New Year's party? No. I mean, we didn't have New Year's parties. I was at home with the fam. There was no parties going on. A couple of illegal parties, probably. I heard there were some arrests, but no. Beyond that, nothing. Frente Atletico, salute to you. And Rob Spin says, how does it work on Twitch playing music streams? So yes, you deal with the same copyright issues. The thing is, if you live stream your music on Twitch, during your live stream, everything's fine. As soon as the live stream is done, if you leave that replay on, in my case, at least 70 to 80% of the replay is muted straight away. So there is a content ID system. It recognizes the songs and it gets muted. The problem is that people have been like getting strikes and losing their accounts for having videos like that online, even like short clips. So as soon as my stream on Twitch is done, the music stream, I delete straight away. That's why there's no mixed videos on my Twitch. You can go to Periscope. Periscope has no issue. So if you go to periscope.tv/DJ TLM, you can see all my old sets. So all my crate sets are on there. The certified bangers from last Friday is there. And yeah, they work just fine. But like I said, like Periscope is ending in March or April. So yeah. Unless you change the key on the song and you won't get block markers. I don't think that's true. I don't know. Like, you might be right. You might be right. But that content ID system is, it's pretty accurate. Like, I've changed pitch of songs all the time. And a lot of times it'll recognize those songs straight away. I mean, I have to believe they have an algorithm that can really recognize a certain song, whether it's played like faster or slower in different keys. But don't quote me on that. All right. Let me see if I can pull up the screen, or at least pull up the screen. I don't have a screen yet. Let me see. Let me just add this one for the people who haven't seen the Rane One, because that is, of course, the talk of the town right now. What? Wait a minute. What is this? Really? I just looked for images of Rane One, and it's only showing me mixers. All right, we'll just go to the Rane website and get it in there. So for those who don't know, you probably do know Rane makes DJ equipment. Rane is also very well known for their collab with Serato. They were the brand who made the audio interfaces we all used for Serato, the SL1, then the SL2, 3, and 4, then the Rane 57, and after that a bunch of other things. Now, of course, in the last years they've had their Rane 12s, their motorized controllers, and the Rane 72 mixer, and now we're already at like the Mark II of that. But they just added something new. There were leaked pictures like a week ago of a box, and on the box you could see like the graphics and you could tell what it was. Let me just grab Stream Elements and see if I can share that screen, just so if you haven't seen it, you can see it. We have to get to window capture, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, and no, that's not the window. Let's see. I want you. There we go. All right. So here it is. Let me get myself above, because right now I'm below. Where am I? Where am I? Where am I? I'm all the way there. No? Okay, whatever. This is working. You can see it, right? All right, let me get my chat back. So, Tim Cook says it's a hoax. Dynablend says no, it doesn't work. Neither does playing it faster or slower. Okay, yeah, that's about the key, right? And Gus Gomez says the same thing. Like, I thought the same thing. Like, I know the Connet ID system is definitely more advanced than that. Right, so you can see the screen, right? You can see the picture of the Rane One, right? And yeah, Marcus, I mean, I've played on YouTube like plenty of times, but the stream worked great. And then afterwards, I would receive like 50 emails with like content claims. And one time I received nothing at all. Don't know what happened there. I just don't think changing the key is the main thing. But hey, if it works for you or your friend, that's dope. That's all good. All right, so you can see you can see it, right? Okay. Mojax already has a review, and I'll have to be honest, I reposted that on IG, but I haven't actually seen his video yet. But here it is. Now, I have to be honest, the first thing that was like a big disappointment for me, and it's crazy that I'm starting with disappointment, right? Because a lot of people were like really raving about this, and I like it a lot. But my first disappointment, when I saw the box and I saw the pictures, I thought that the jog wheels were just Rane 12s, so the big jog wheels. Only when I saw the real unit and I saw a video where I saw hands on it, it just dawned on me like, oh wait, this is way smaller than I thought. There's plus sides to that as well. So it's not like a total letdown, but I thought it was gonna be bigger when I saw the first like graphics. So what you see here is just an all-in-one controller with motorized platters. And these are two motorized platters that are 7 inches in size. So when I saw that, and a lot of people saw that with me, and I've seen the comments already as well, NS7. Numark NS7 has the exact same size vinyl feel motorized platters. I absolutely love the NS7, so I know that that's not a bad thing. I know how those 7 inches feel and work, so it's not bad. But it would have been dope if these were actually bigger than the NS7 jog wheels. That would have made it even different. Now, before I continue, I think it was me about a week ago, and I don't know if it was in my first podcast of the year. I think it was the first podcast of this year. I actually talked about brands and what brands had done last year and what brands are probably going to do this year. And I talked about the fact that Rane and a couple of other companies are owned by one big company called InMusic. And I think I actually said something like, it's not like Rane is all of a sudden going to make controllers. That's basically exactly what happened now. But I did say that it didn't make sense for me to see Rane start making controllers because InMusic has other brands that already make controllers. In this case, InMusic owns Rane and owns Numark. We haven't seen a new Numark NS7 in a long time, and with the arrival of this unit right here, the Rane One, I don't think we're going to see a new NS7. This is basically the new NS7. Like if Numark now all of a sudden comes out with a new NS7 next week, I don't know, that will be kind of crazy unless they decide that the NS7 is like the big unit and this is smaller. But a lot of the same tech probably went into this unit as well. I mean, that's the great thing. If you have InMusic and you have all of these brands, you can now swap out techniques. They have Akai as well. So a lot of times they'll use Akai technology for their pads. They did that with the NS7 Mark II and 3 as well. So there's bound to be Akai, Numark, and Rane Tech all mixed together in here. They have more brands. I think they have, if I'm not mistaken, M Audio, Sound Switch. They have a lot more. So yeah, DJ Kid J says as well, like Rane 2 will probably be 10-inch platter. I mean, that's what I would have liked to see. That would have been even doper, but I do understand that does become a very big controller. So that is a plus size, plus thing for this one. This is actually pretty, not small, but this is a good size. This is semi, like, this is like portable. I remember even with my NS7, and I used to, I did tours with that in a flight case. That's a big case. It became a pretty heavy thing. This is smaller. Now, when it comes to features, it's dope. I mean, it's dope. I'm used to the layout from the NS7, so having the platters there with like the performance pads underneath, it's not what I would have preferred. Denon DJ is also InMusic, Mario. That's definitely true. So they have all of those brands. So the layout, I can work with that. The mixer is small. Like, it is a tiny little mixer section. But I mean, it doesn't have to be a downside. They kept the crossfader section nice and clean, so you can really use it for scratching. A great scratch fader in there. It's dual USB, so you can work with 2 DJs at the same time or use it to switch between DJs. They even took like the touch strip from the NS7. I don't know how many people actually use that. I hardly ever used it on my NS7, but it's there. So overall, it's a pretty exciting unit. I love the fact that they've incorporated like the big switches to turn on and off the effects. That's what I really like about my S9 and about the Rane 72. So they use those as well. So overall, I think it's a very dope device. Like I said, the only letdown at first was that I thought that the platters were bigger, but it basically has everything you need. The scratch bank feature is in there. I know that as well. I think it has 2 microphone inputs, so it's like it's prepared for all sorts of situations. And the only thing, and that was my first thought as well, and my second thought, since InMusic owns all those companies and has all that tech, how dope would it have been if this unit had all of these features, but they also added that little bit of Denon flavor, and this will be like the Prime 4 and 2 and go. So if this one would have been a standalone with motorized platters, if that would have been the case, I would have bought 10 right now. Like that's end game right there. If you have like a standalone controller with all the features you need and some motorized platters, damn. Yeah, because like I said, all of those brands are within one umbrella. Rane, Akai, Denon, they're all there. And yeah, I still have my NS7 as well. I haven't used it in a long time, but it is still here. So I would like to get my hands on this one just to feel how much of a difference there is when it comes to these motorized platters. But I remember from my NS7 days, like that thing was a beast, absolute beast. And those 7-inch motorized platters gave me an incredible vinyl-like feel. The only thing is, like, the NS7 had like actual vinyl on top. This is a different type of material. I always liked that vinyl feel on the NS7s, but yeah, I can imagine this is gonna feel dope as well, but I want to test them. So basically, that's my thoughts when it came to seeing the Rane One. Now I know I've not talked about every feature on the device. Like I said, I haven't even checked full reviews. I haven't checked the actual dimensions, but knowing that those jog wheels that we see here, those platters, are 7 inches, this is not very big. This is not a very big controller at all. Like, the entire player is basically that 7-inch platter that you see right there and some performance pads underneath. But yeah, I like it. It's dope. DJ True Peak in the building. What's going on? Yeah, Rigas or Rigas, I don't know. If it would be standalone, I would sell my XZ for sure. Yeah, the NS7 is so slept on. I don't think so. I mean, the fact is, and that's the thing, the market for DJs looking for a controller with motorized platters isn't that big, I think. Most people who choose controllers aren't really interested in turntables or the turntable feel. So I think that was always a smaller market. So that's why you're not going to hear as many people talking about it. Yeah, that's what I think. So the people who liked like turntables and tech and controllers with motorized platters, most of them all swear by the NS7. So I also have the S4 Mark III, the tractor one with the motorized jog wheels, and it's dope. It's a very dope little controller, but those are smaller. They're not this size. Dynablend says DJs hate knobs in front of them, jabbing them in the guts. Yeah, okay. I see you with those. I don't know. Like, for instance, every time I'm live streaming here, my DJ set is always a little bit, it's not in the middle of the table I'm using, but it's not all the way to the edge. Like, if you like to have your set all the way to the edge, then yes, these knobs are gonna be stabbing you all the time. That's a fact. I feel you on that. And the only thing, it's good that you mention it, anytime you make equipment with a lot of those knobs, I would prefer to see that it also has the some sort of guardrail, some sort of protection, if you know what I mean. Let me see, because one of my mixers has it and the others don't, and I know it can be a lifesaver, because if you have this in some kind of bag and for whatever reason it would hit the ground, all of those knobs are going to be jammed into the controller. It's going to cause damage. So you actually want to have that protected. I'm a loop heavy DJ and I hate how dedicated loop buttons have disappeared from newer controllers. Is this one different? I honestly haven't checked for that. Looking from this distance, I think I can already see the loop section, like the big orange button with 2 buttons underneath. So that might be it. But do you understand what I'm talking about with the guardrail when it comes to mixers? Let me just see, because I have my equipment here. Which mixer is it? Give me a sec. Let me check real quick. Yes. So actually, my S9 has like rubber strips at the bottom. It has like small knobs there, so those two rubber strips will allow you to set the mixer up and it's protected. But right here, all right, so let me just make my own screen a little bit bigger. Let's get it. I made that mistake last time. I was showing something to the camera, but I was like very small in the corner, meaning that you could hardly see me. Let's get that Rane One out of the frame again. Where is it? Which one is my window capture? Hold up, guys. Oh, there you are. I moved the wrong one. Okay, so over here we have 72, and right here you see that big metal part right here. That is on both sides, and as you can already see, if you look at that side, this took a major hit because I don't remember what it was. It was probably in a bag or something, but it hit the floor. Now, if this protective part right here would not have been there, the impact would have been all on those knobs. So they should have did the same thing with that Rane One, because I mean, this can really save your equipment. Like, it can really save your equipment. So they should have done that. That would have been much better. Let me reorganize my my set here again a little bit. You can still see the Rane One if I do this right. Yeah, that'll work. So that would have been better. It really protects it. This would have destroyed my mixer. I mean, accidents can happen. I tend to be pretty careful with my stuff, but in this case, something just happened. But yeah, that guardrail just saved that 72 from serious damage. And in my opinion, they should have that with all mixers, not just at the bottom, but also at the top. This one does not have it at the top. And on my S9, I actually have damage on that side because that bumped into something during touring. See, that's the thing. Like, if you have equipment at home, you will not have those accidents. Not a lot. But if you use your equipment on the road and you're touring a lot, these things will happen. And yeah, it's good to have protection. So yeah, Marcus, I just showed it on screen like for 2-3 minutes. That was the 72. So yeah, that has the protection, and it saved mine. So yes, like that entire guardrail on one side, it has a big dent in it. But hey, that's what the protection is for, and the mixer is still safe. So DJ Gizmo says, why not make it 4-channel? Here's the thing. This one is probably a great test. Like, if this works, they could do a bigger version. Because I noticed too, like, hey, not just the fact that it's 2 channels, but it's a very small mixer section. So I have to believe this is deliberate to actually have something that is very portable, because I mean, you know, if you see like the big monsters like the NS7 IIs, the XZs, they are very big. So yeah. Mario, flight case always. Yeah, that's the thing. I use a lot of DJ bags, and most of the times they protect my gear more than well enough, because it's not like it's thrown into all sorts of vans and moving around. Like, I have it on me, it goes into the back of a vehicle, and then I have it on me. So the bag normally works great. This just happened with me holding that bag and having sort of an accident. Flight cases are the best protection. They're also clunky. They add a lot of weight compared to having a DJ bag that can hold your mixer and at the same time have your other gear in there as well. So I used to have some of the UDG bags, the Serato bags that they had, Now I have the jetpacks, the big one. I mean, I have the cut for my portable, and then I have their Prime. Is it called the Prime? I think it's the Prime XL, their big bag. And I use that either to carry my mixer, sometimes even a controller, like the DJ 400 fits in it as well. But then I also have my other gear in it. So yeah, see, I placed the camera in front of my monitor so I can not read the last two lines of the chat. So I cannot see what Gus Gomez said yet. One more comment and then I see it. Yeah, that's the only way I'll think. I'll trade my, okay, yeah, I'll trade the XZ. A lot of people have that, I see. So 3,000, what's 3,000? This is not 3,000, right? Wasn't this like 1,500? I did not check the price, to be honest. I saw people talking about the price, but I didn't see the price yet. I'm not going to search it. I know you know in the chat. I think it was 1,500, right? Let me get that out. Yeah, 1,500. Someone says 1,200. 1,500 euros. I see 1,200. Yeah, I think I've seen a bunch of 1,500s. Yeah, I mean, it's an okay price. But, oh, let me get that out the way. We don't have to see that window anymore. There we go. I mean, it's a cool price. It's still a lot of money. But I mean, I think you get a lot for it, especially if you compare it to like two Rane 12s and a Rane 72. But it's not really a fair comparison. Like the Rane 12s are just way bigger, and the 72 also can do more. It's bigger. I prefer the quote unquote full size because that's what you're used to coming from like turntable sets. But I know my way around smaller as well. But that's what I liked about the NS7. Even though it had the 7-inch platters, the unit itself did have that size. And yeah, whatever. I want to try this out. That's all I know. Rane One. So that's my thoughts. I already see your thoughts. Eli Per says as well, like you get a good set of outputs. That's also important. Everything is on there as well. Compare DDJ 1000. Jump off. Compared to what? To the Rane One? Because in my opinion, it never makes sense to compare controllers with jog wheels to controllers with motorized platters, because it's just totally a different planet. You can compare, the only thing we can compare then is like what type of other features are on a device. But like people who buy a controller with a motorized platter are most likely not interested in a controller with jog wheels. For me, that was the thing. Like, I like controllers. Like, the DJ 1000 is one of my all-time favorite controllers that does not have moving platters. I really, when I first tried that one out, I was like, this is super dope. Those full-size jog wheels, same type of feel as the CDJ 2000. That was amazing to me. I like that way more than I like the XZ. SZ, not XZ, sorry. But hey, RC3, are you really gonna do that, bro? We just talked about the Rane One for like, I don't know, whatever, 20 minutes. I waited until people were here. We just finished talking about it like 1 minute ago. Now you jump in the chat and the first thing you say is, bro, that new Rane One looks like a beast. But yeah, I called this before the show started. Like, people are gonna bring that in, bring that up the entire show, because that is the topic of the day, of the week. And yeah, we just talked about it. It looks like a beast indeed. A bit small, that's what I talked about, because it only has the 7-inch platter, same as the NS7, but it's a dope device. Yeah. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I saw you during the set. So I'm there every Monday, and during that set, that's the crate set, I just dig in my digital crates and I try to find a lot of tracks that I don't play that often. And then 2 times a month I'll do my certified bangers show, and that's all about like what I consider to be bangers, to have that certain type of club type energy and rawness to them. But yeah, thank you. I feel like I will be at home with the platters, like the see, now I have to, my camera is in front of that line. I'll wait till that pops up. Oh wait, can I catch you here? Oh yeah, I can catch you here. Dope. I talked about this a couple of weeks ago. I was gonna hook up my my NS7 again, just to see how that feels. I need to do that. I really need to do that. I have it right here. I just need to see what I'm gonna use it with. I don't have Serato itch anymore, if y'all remember that. But I've seen people who said they used it with Serato DJ and that it works, so it should work. Yeah. Eli says it works. So yeah. I need to bring that bad boy out, give it a try, dust it off, see if everything still works. I mean, I kept it in a flight case, so everything should be okay. That heavy flight case is still here. So salute to Brainpower, who was in the chat earlier. We actually we did like a crazy tour with that NS7 when I just had it. At the time, we were doing a theater tour, and theaters are not really prepared for, especially at that time, not really prepared for our type of artists. So it's not like a lot of venues here that might have DJ equipment. Theaters did not have DJ equipment. And I had already done a tour with him, a theater tour. I mean, I was doing shows with him for years, but for that tour before that, I was bringing 2 turntables and a mixer and some video equipment because we were already doing stuff with video then. But I had to have 3 flight cases just for the turntables and one for the mixer. Now you have 2 hands, so already you have to have more people to carry, or a lot of times you'll have to walk multiple times from the transportation into the theater. So for that next tour, I just gotten that NS7. And I knew straight away, like, yo, I'm not bringing 2 turntables and a mixer during this tour. 1 flight case, and that's it. And that thing worked so amazingly, especially because it has the 2 metal bars that you plug into it. So it has the laptop stand built in. I don't think I've seen a controller since then that does that. I might be mistaken, but I don't think I've seen another controller with that option. So if you've never seen that before, the NS7 actually has like 2 metal parts that you have in the box, and then you connect them, you plug them in, and they stick out at an angle, and that fits your laptop right in front of your controller. And I've done plenty shows where I was playing with like a large band, and we would have limited space on stage. So basically you would have drum sets and guitar players and keyboard players, you name it. So there was like a small spot and a keyboard stand for my equipment. Now, if you come in with like a full DJ set, they'll have to find like a pretty large booth for you. In this case, I could use a keyboard stand. I would just place my flight case on top of that, the NS7 on top of that, the laptop stand is built in, and I rock crazy stages with that thing. So yeah, True Peak says I'm pulling my NS7 out tonight. I mean, I'm in the studio right now. I mean, I'm getting myself hyped up to get to that. So Gus Gomez, yeah, I mean, that kind of didn't work out. So how can I put it? My last 2 years, when it comes to making content, I've been kind of off. I did not create the amount of content I wanted to create, and especially when it comes to the brands and doing reviews, I did not always live up to my word, and I have to kind of earn that spot back. I mean, I totally understand, but I also know that that's a fact. Like, there were certain brands who would contact me and let me know, like, hey, this is coming now. And for the last like 6 months, 12 months, those calls haven't come. And then I see other creators do reviews. So I understand. So I'm not even reaching out right now because I want to make sure I'm in a place where I'm actually not just delivering, but over delivering. And then we'll be back to being in a position where all that stuff will come. So I have the 5000 and I have one 5000M, but the 6000 just didn't happen. Now, of course, at the same time, like this year, October, last year, sorry, 2020, ADE didn't happen either. Normally during Amsterdam dance event, all the brands are here. That's when I always personally connect with all of those people. Since that didn't happen this year, my connect moment wasn't there either, but that's okay. Like I wasn't ready then either. So I could have had a nice talk, but if they would have sent me equipment, I probably wouldn't have delivered either. So yeah, that's just self-reflection, and that's why this year is so important to me, to totally get that back on track with the content that I've been wanting to create. No procrastination, a lot more planning, and actually creating a lot of good habits that will help me to improve my overall workflow and get more work done. So yeah, that's it. That's why I missed out on quite a bit of equipment that came out in the last 12 to 18 months, and I've seen it. But I'm okay with that. That will come again. And it's not like I need equipment, because I'm already blessed when it comes to that. So yeah, man, I do have connects to go to people and try stuff out. So if there's something that I really want to try out, I'll make that happen. And other connects are definitely still intact. It's not like I've not received any equipment in the last year or whatever. So yeah, I'm good with that. That's gonna all, I have to make sure I get back to that level, and that would be good. What up, Ravi? Is it over here as well? Do you have any favorite scratch samples you like to use? Here's the thing. I think for most of us scratch DJs, even though I'm not really a scratch DJ, I just love turntablism, love to incorporate it in my DJing. Most of us start out with the same and fresh, and those somehow always remain like go-to sounds. Beyond that, I just move all over with sounds. It all depends. If I'm just doing sets, like during my normal DJing, I don't even use a lot of quote unquote scratch sounds. I will mostly scratch with whatever sounds are on the records that I'm mixing. So if I'm doing a transition, I'm playing one track, I bring in a new track. At a certain point, the track that I'm going to take out, I'll take that, stop it at the point where, for instance, the vocal is saying something, and then I'll use that for scratching. So during my normal sets, it's not like I'm loading in scratch sounds. Now, with the scratch bank feature on certain equipment, I might just be tempted to switch a lot more to scratch sounds. Like RC3, you know what it is. Like those sounds, I mean, the ahs still sound dope. Even though everyone always uses the same sounds, those are dope sounds. So I'm not gonna stop using those sounds because everyone has been using them for forever. But like I said, during my normal mixing, I'll use what I can get. And there's a lot of dope tracks that will actually start out with a sound or a dope vocal. Someone will say something. It could be a sentence, or it could be like a woo before a beat comes in. Then you go, there you go, right there. You have a nice sound. So you have to learn also how to take advantage of the sounds that are right there in front of you. This is actually something that never happens. Almost never happens. I'm not a drinker. The last alcohol I had in my house was a bottle of Captain Morgan private stock, and it took me approximately, I think, 7 or 8 years to finish that bottle because I really don't drink. So when I really like the taste of that was a rum, but when I drink, I'll pour like this in a glass, and that'll take me like an hour or more to use. Now I just received a gift the other day, and let me just quickly show you. This is actually from a Dutch company out of Rotterdam, and it's a rum. It's a spiced rum. Yes, it looks empty, but that's because I took apart and moved it over into another gift I received, and I'll show you that in a minute. Gotta show you this for a second. You can hardly tell, damn it, it's too light in here. It has a light at the bottom of the bottle, and then this whole road on the mountain lights up. But it's a very sweet type of rum. So What you see in my glass here, that's basically everything I poured in. And for me, that's already a lot. So that's probably not even going to be finished. But yeah, salute. I don't remember your name because you didn't give it to me specifically. I heard your name, but this is the brand. The stuff I took out of there, I poured in here. This gift just came in actually 2 days ago from the Q Up DJ Summit where I spoke a couple of weeks ago. They sent me this gift thinking I'm some sort of alcoholic. I hadn't seen one of these in forever. It's a flask, but with the Q Up DJ logo and then my own logo. So salute to them for that. And this one as well. So just, yeah, man, thoughtful. So salute to the people from Q Up DJ Summit for these gifts. I appreciate that. Mario, thanks for joining us, man. See you next time. So yes, to the missus right there, I put this in here. So I'm taking this one home so you can have it. Because I want to leave the bottle in the studio because I like the look of it. But now I can take some home for you. TLM, what do you think to Jazzy Jeff, Run DMC, Peter Piper routine? What do I think about it? I mean, that's a classic right there. It's a classic routine. A lot of DJs have copied it. A lot of DJs use that for practice. I mean, I've used parts of that for practice as well, just to practice around with the bad, meaning bad part, and then just going back, meaning bad, meaning good, bring it back. Love it. Love it. Love it. Did I miss anything else? I don't know if I missed anything else. David G, what's good? My pleasure. My pleasure. Boom Bar Diary, almost missed that one. Hi. What do you think about the Rane One for beginner? Do you think 7-inch is enough to learn and practice? I mean, look, you can learn how to DJ on anything. You can learn on a small controller that has even smaller jog wheels than that. Is it good for a beginner? If the beginner has an unlimited budget, then it's dope. But if you're a beginner, you're starting out, and it's gonna take you a lot of just a lot of your money to buy this $1,500 controller, then I would say it's probably not the right place to start. I would always advise a beginner to start out on something basic just to see if they actually really like this enough and want to do this, instead of spending a lot of money. I've worked in a record store when I was younger, and we also sold DJ equipment. And from time to time, you would get like these young 14-year-old rich kids come in with daddy, and they would just buy an entire DJ set. Like sometimes 2 turntables and a mixer, but also like 2 CDJs and a mixer. I think we were still at the CDJ 1000s at the time, but still it was a pretty expensive set. And then you sometimes would run into those parents or the father again not that long after that, like a couple of months later, and the kid had lost interest and moved on. And then they spend all that money on that. Now you have to sell it secondhand. You're going to lose money. So I would not call the Rane One like an entry-level controller. It is certainly way beyond having an entry-level controller. Motorized platters or turntables do offer you options that a normal controller doesn't, because the feel is just different. So if scratching is high on your priority list, having motorized platters is going to give you a different understanding of how scratching works. It's going to give you more of that organic feel because it's actually moving. It's not just like a static piece of plastic that's just still and you're going back and forth, but you're not really feeling anything. You can still do a lot of scratches, but when you have a platter that is actually giving you that friction, you can feel the torque of the motor moving it back and forth. You feel it going forward. So just as an example, and I've talked about this, I made a video about this, I think a year ago, about how certain DJs with controllers will scratch on the right side of the right platter, meaning that they're not on the inside of the platter going forth and back, but they're on the outside. And when they scratch, when they do that zigga, they're actually not going forward backwards, but because they're on the outside, they're moving the jog wheel backwards. So they're going backwards, forwards. If you have motorized platters, that would never happen because it's spinning. So you understand that you're going in the direction of the rotation that it makes. If you have jog wheels that don't move and you don't fully understand what's happening, that it's actually making revolutions like a turntable would, your jog wheel doesn't do that. So you think you can just grab it anywhere and move it back and forth. But motorized platters will give you an understanding like, okay. Yeah, I've seen, like Eli, I've seen controller DJs do this. And then they're doing a zigga zigga, but it's the wrong direction. Now with a baby scratch, you might not even notice it that much. But just imagine, if you want to do 2 baby scratches, yeah, but it is on the inside. That's where you need to be. That's the one. So just imagine you do zigga, zigga, and then you drop to let the sound play. If you're on the correct side, you're going forward, backward, drop. You let it go. If you're on the wrong side, you're actually going backwards, forward. If you let it go now, you're actually in the wrong spot. So I had to tell people to make them understand, like, this is how it works. You have to imagine that if you have a controller with the jog wheels and they don't move, imagine how they move if they were actual turntables. But I understand if you've never used turntables and you get a controller, you just see the software, you see your wave files move, and wherever you grab that jog wheel, stop it and move it, you'll see that wave file move. So I understand how that can happen. Like, quite frankly, says I think it depends on how your brain works. Like it depends on if you have an understanding of turntables. Like if you've never seen a real turntable, and a lot of kids don't. I understand they don't have turntables at the house anymore. They didn't grow up with turntables. So they just understand, like, hey, this device controls my music. If I grab this round thing and move it, my music moves. So yeah, I understand. But back to the question. So yes, I mean, a Rane One is not an entry-level controller. If people have the money for it, you're buying a controller that has a ton of options. But then they also will have to learn the motorized platter way. I mean, there's probably an option, I didn't check, to turn the motor off, but I don't know if they still work the same way as normal controllers do. So I haven't checked that one. Yeah, and true, like a lot of people haven't seen turntables, Eli. That's like what I said. I know that. I mean, newer generations grow up with different things, man. Like a lot of kids haven't seen vinyl before. We're now entering the era where a lot of the young kids don't even know what a CD is. They don't. Like, movies at home aren't being played from DVDs. They're being played from Netflix or Hulu or Disney Plus. So they're not putting discs in anymore. People are now even buying like consoles without a tray. Like, we have an Xbox One, I don't know what's called, the old one, Xbox One S or whatever. That still has the tray, so I can play. It had the Blu-ray player. You can play DVDs. Like, my oldest son has one of those Xbox Ones that doesn't even have the disc tray anymore, so it's all digital. So imagine if kids get a console, and yeah, you get a console, you put it on, and then you download games. So they don't even understand what discs are anymore. So I'm never surprised if people don't know what a turntable is. I already have the SB3. Yeah, that's a dope entry-level controller for sure. I took a couple of scratch lessons. Can't stop thinking about getting a turntable set because of the feeling. Yeah, totally understand. I totally understand. And that's exactly what it is. I mean, on that SB3, you could actually do a lot of scratches. You can learn a lot of scratch techniques, but your feeling and understanding of scratching will be different when you do it on those motorized platters, on turntables. That's why I always received a lot of questions when I did scratches on like small controllers, like, how can you do those scratches on that controller? That's because it's all muscle memory. I'm going off what my muscles know. They understand the movement. So even if the jog wheel doesn't move, I let go and I understand how far I have to bring it back to get to the sound without looking at a screen. It'll take me a minute with each controller, but you have that in you. Ivan says he has the Denon CDJ 1200. I don't even remember which one that is though. And Mixmaster G is in the building. You're always busy. You always come in at like the 90-minute mark. I think that's your standard thing. Also with the mix shows. Salute to you, man. So yes, we extensively discussed the Rane One, as you probably imagined. So that was the main talking point, and I waited quite a while to bring it up. Big Mark says old people kill me when they try to bring their CD and say play track one. Yeah, I mean, we went through a period where people would actually do that, and I remember like a lot of people in the Netherlands had switched to CDJs, but I was using Serato. So I would be playing at parties, and then when people would come up with CDs like, hey man, can you play this song? And I always had that great like excuse. I mean, of course, as a DJ, I can say like, hey, no, I don't do that. I didn't even have to go that route because I could just point at my equipment. Then they saw the turntables, and you would see that confused look on their face like, where does the CD go? There's no tray. So that was a great excuse like, hey, doesn't happen. At a certain point, it switched. And I've even had a couple of gigs where I would have people come up to me and they would come up with a flash drive. Yo, can you play this song? Because they knew they saw the laptop. They understood DJs now had laptops as well. So they would come up with flash drives. Now, of course, then I'll switch to, yo, my guy, I don't do that. Like I talked about last time when someone was asking like how to approach DJs to play artists' music. I'm not gonna go and do that on the spot while I'm playing. I'm not gonna have a little quick listening session on my headphones to see if the track is cool. That needs to happen in advance. So, but a lot of people don't understand that. They don't understand how a DJ actually works, what it all brings. They don't understand that you're actually doing a job, creating a flow, a vibe. That's why you get a lot of requests that don't make sense either. Like, you'll be in a certain vibe, you're playing a certain style of music, and then someone will come up with a request that musically just makes no sense when you look at what you're playing. I mean, sometimes it's funny, like RC3's in the chat now, and he was there Monday, and I don't do requests during my live streams, but he just all of a sudden came out with like Humpty Dance. Now, it didn't fit the current vibe, but it was still funny, and it would have been even a funny thing to do. But sometimes people will just come up with like a request that is just a totally different genre, different style, different tempo, different energy. But because they feel like they want to hear that track, they think it's a good idea to let the DJ play that track. And in your mind, you're like, you must be crazy. I mean, if I play that now, I'm killing the entire vibe and atmosphere I just spent the last 20, 30, 40, 50 minutes creating, and one song can now kill that entire vibe. So most of the times that alone is a good reason to stay away from requests. Oh, let's see what Gus said. Yeah, that's what I said. Like, that would have been the ultimate thing for me. Like, and maybe that will be the next step. If you get that Rane One, but get a standalone version. So a standalone player like that with motorized platters. It can even be the 7-inch platters, but standalone. Ooh, that would be a monster. Absolute monster. Yeah, man. Rob Spin, see you next time. Salute. So you have the CDJ 1200, no, the Denon 1200. So when you play at the club with the Pioneer controller, you feel like driving a BMW. Hey, but understand, it's a good thing to learn on, I don't want to say lesser equipment, but to start out with something that is not like top level equipment, because you'll appreciate it more. Like for me, I started with two Technics. I always forget the name. It's like a SL20 300 or 3300, two belt. I keep on bumping my watch. That's not a good thing. Thought it broken one. But those were like two belt drive turntables with little knobs to change your pitch, not even a pitch slider. I learned how to mix with those two. The torque on those turntables was terrible. So every time you scratch in the beginning, if you're not giving it the right push, your sound comes in like that. You learn that way. Then when I got my SL1200s, that definitely feels like all of a sudden you go from a bicycle to a BMW. So it makes you appreciate it more, and you're already a seasoned DJ when it comes to equipment, when you know how to work with crappy equipment, because you're not always going to have the perfect equipment when you get to gigs. Big DJs will have their riders, I know, but all of us go through that stage where you're just happy that you can get a gig and you have no say in what type of equipment is there. You're going to have to play on what they have, and it's not always going to be good. So it's great to be prepared and to learn how to play on different equipment. I remember a certain gig I did even a little bit later in my career where they were going to have a CDJ set, and then when I got there, I don't remember which one it is, but it's a Pioneer, but it's not the CDJ. It's something comparable to that. This was like already, I think, 8 or more years ago. So the section on the CDJ 2000, I don't even know if the Nexus was out yet, but on the 2000, you had like your hot cues, the few buttons. On this device, it was sort of a CDJ, but those weren't hot cues. You could like change loop counts with it or something like that. So I was expecting, okay, CDJs, I can work with that. I know how the hot cues work. I like those hot cues. And this device didn't have the same options. It was like a lower type of version. Hey man, you have to go with what you get then. So if you've only played with like top level equipment, then it's going to be a real messy situation if you end up somewhere where they don't have that equipment. So it's good to learn on different equipment. Now, of course, nowadays I have a rider, and most of the times I'll bring my mixer because I do plenty of gigs where I just know they don't have my mixer, and I don't even want to depend on them to find one, to hire one. I've been guaranteed certain equipment before, and then you arrive and then it's something else. Same thing with people saying like, yeah, we have turntables, and then you get there and then they have 2 CDJs. Stuff like that happens. So I prefer to have my mixer in the bag. Even if it turns out to be CDJs, I'd rather be mixing on CDJs with one of my mixers compared to the club mixer, even though I definitely know my way around a 900 or an 800 or a 600 or a 500. So yeah. But if you have your preferred thing and it's not that much trouble to carry it, I'd rather have it in the bag with me. Yeah, Big Mark, knob mixer with no crossfader. My first mixer was also a mixer with no crossfader. It did have faders, like channel faders, but no crossfader at all. Greatness, what up? I'm getting the Rane One. Rane is just gonna take my money. And Mixmaster G says the one dual belt with kind of pitch and one Philips non-pitch. Yeah, I mean, like my first turntables weren't even those Technics. Like we had turntables on our equipment at the house. That was the first turntable experience I had, and those don't have pitch either. They're just normal turntables. Like one that didn't even have like start and stop. You just had to lift like the arm, and when you have it above the vinyl, then the vinyl starts to move, and then you have to lower the arm, you know? So those were, of course, the first one, but like my first DJ set, like a mixer with no crossfader and those belt drive turntables. But I love it. I love it. I love it. It's a great experience, and it also shows you that you can work with that. I learned how to backspin with the mixer with no crossfader. It can be done. So when you get a crossfader after that, and now I don't have to use one hand to pull one fader down and one up at the same time, how I had to do it, but now I can just move my crossfader side to side. That was like the biggest luxury ever, a crossfader. Moving it from side to side instead of doing a multi-fader hand movement every time. So I was literally backspinning that way, bringing this one in, click, rewinding that one, click, with one hand. I'm actually doing it here, so I think I'm outside of the screen, so right here. So you have to pull one fader down and bring another one up at the same time. Yeah. And at first I was always doing the cueing through the headphones until I learned how to put a sticker on, and all of that helps you to become better You start to spend less time struggling with equipment, thinking about things. But yeah, I love the way I came up like that. What else? Louis Navarez, what up? Still have my NS7 III, still killing it. It's dope. And you said looking to upgrade to Rane One. I think that's a funny thing. I don't know if I would call going from an NS7 Mark III to a Rane One an upgrade. I think it's just a different animal. I mean, they both have basically the same size motorized platters, but the NS7 is way bigger. I love the capacitive touch knobs it had and control it had. The screen on that screen was also a monster. The 3 had the screen built in, right? I remember the screen came out around the Mark II, and you would buy it separately if I'm not mistaken. But that screen where you had like the middle screen and the 2 side screens, ooh, that thing is a monster. With the Rane One, you're getting a smaller controller, so it's more portable. Some features are a little bit newer, like performance pads might feel a little bit different. The scratch bank is dope. The crossfaders is going to be better, I think. But yeah, maybe it's called a boom bar. Maybe we could call it like a side grade. Yeah, Chris International learning how to DJ on Yankee gear is great. Learned on sketchy turntables decades ago. Yeah, I totally agree. I appreciate that experience to the fullest. So will Rane One be an upgrade from the NS7 III? Denny, that's what I'm just talking about. I don't know if I call that an upgrade. I like side grade might be a good word for it. It's kind of a different thing, but the same. What else is in here? So 2018, yeah, that's what we talked about. We talked about Rane One in great length here, and Newmark and Rane and Denon and Akai, they're all in music brands. So a lot of that tech has been shared. So most likely, a lot of what was in the NS7 is in the Rane One as well. And I said that earlier. We haven't seen a new NS7 in a long time. And now that the Rane One is here, I expect we'll never see a new NS7. I mean, I can understand from a certain perspective as well. Like, Newmark is a respected brand. Rane has a different place in the market, especially right now. I think this makes more sense, and this will probably do better than if they would have now brought out the NS7 Mark IV. A Rane One, from a marketing perspective, feels like it makes more sense because Rane has been in the news. We haven't heard from that NS7 line in a long time. Then you got Rane 12s, 72, then Mark IIs of that. So that is what people are now familiar with. We haven't seen Newmark in a while like that. They had the Newmark scratch mixer, but no new motorized thing. So I think it's a better option to have Rane be that new one. So I think it's highly unlikely that we'll now see an NS7 Mark IV. The pad function seems similar as well, like Denny Romo says. So yeah, I think that's just it. The only thing is, and that's what I said for people tuning in later, when I saw the graphics, I thought that the platters were like Rane 12 size. So when I saw the first video and I saw a hand on the platter, I was like, whoa. Those are way smaller than I thought they would be. And then I saw a 7-inch. I was like, okay, NS7. So that's the only thing. I thought it would be a bigger controller with bigger platters. But this makes more sense if you want to have it more portable. And I'll repeat this one more time, even though I've said it a couple of times. This would be ultimate if they would have made it a standalone player with those motorized platters. Yeah. Master TV, what up? CDX, yeah, I saw someone just said something about CDX. Oh, Eli said that CDX slept on. Yeah, man. I mean, some of those some devices work and some just don't make it. I mean, Denon also had their, I would say SC3900, but I might be mistaken. That was also a device with motorized platters. Was it the SC3900? I think it was. Yeah, I know it's 7.2 inches. It's not 7 inches like the NS7, so it is technically not the same. So it's not like they took it out of the NS7, placed it in there. It is probably a new type of a platter, but that's, I mean, I don't think you're gonna feel that difference. Let me just quickly see. If I'm right about that name, the SC3900. In my mind, that's what it was, but I might be mistaken. Yeah, there it is. There it is. There it is. Let me give y'all guys the screen again for a second. Where's that window capture? There you go. Bang. That one right there. That was Denon's, Denon DJ's motorized platter. I never got a chance to use that one. And I think when I first saw it, I thought it looked like an absolute beast. I just think it was the wrong time, wrong place, or yeah, it didn't work. Let's just say that it didn't work. It came out, people weren't buying it, didn't happen. So yeah, no, this is the one I was talking about, the SE3900. And man, I saw some videos. I don't remember. I think it was DJ Woody or some UK DJs playing with it, performed well. And the CDX, same thing. I've definitely tried that one before, and that was dope. Y'all remember the CD from Technics? Technics had one too. I think it didn't work that great, but that thing looked absolutely amazing. That was the most sexy player I'd ever seen. I don't remember what it's called anymore. I think it was called something 1200 as well, right? No, that's not a good picture. I already found it, but I need a good picture of this. No. There's better pictures. Come on. Show me that thing. You guys know what I'm talking about with the Technics one? Like what I talked about when I worked at the audio store, the CD store where they also sold equipment. I was working there when that thing, when we got that thing in the shop. Like we had that CDX there as well, but then the Technics came out. Is there no normal picture of it? Okay, this picture doesn't really do it justice. I mean, I'll bring it up, but there's better pictures out there. But maybe you remember this. It was also a CD player, but also with that platter. I mean, there were a bunch of things that were tried, but I mean, not everything works. That's just it. Some things will work, some things will not work. Yeah, thank you, Eli. The DZ1200. I just missed the question about one-on-one. I'll find that in a minute. But no, the SP1200, that's something totally different again. Now we're getting into beat making territory. That's a classic device though, the SP12. All right, Sven. Let's see. 2 questions. How can I get more hip hop songs between 110 and 120 BPM? There are so less, and do you experience on working with equipment of the club instead of your own? The second question is not very clear to me. Let us just start at the beginning. So how can you get more hip hop songs between 110 and 120 BPM? There are so few. I mean, there are definitely songs in that range, but it was not like the most it's not like a most used range. You had a certain point in hip hop where things were really up tempo, and in that era you had some more up tempo hip hop. It's not a tempo you see a lot now, so it's just, I mean, find more. Either join DJ pools and search by BPM. I mean, I don't know how I would search for that. Actually, I don't have an answer for that. I don't know how I would search for that, but it's just a fact. There's not that much, but it's definitely there. Second part is, do you experience working with equipment at the club? So you're talking about that you don't really trust the equipment at the club, right? So I've done thousands of shows on club equipment, and I've had a couple of bad experiences. I've had plenty of good experiences as well. But yeah, if you want to be safe, you should bring your own equipment. But then, especially if you do a lot of gigs, especially if you do a lot of club gigs, you always have to bring everything, and you have to make sure every club is cool with you connecting all of your own equipment. So imagine if you're playing at a club, they have their normal DJ booth. So they don't have like a big stage. They have a DJ booth with equipment in that DJ booth. All of the DJs that play that night are playing on that equipment. No chance that you're gonna be able to swap that equipment out and put all of your equipment in when the DJ before you and after you are playing on the club system. Like, that's not gonna happen. So you have to have a certain degree of trust in equipment at clubs, because it is also in the club's best interest that the people have a good time, because the DJ was able to just perform because their equipment works. So it's not gonna help them if their equipment doesn't work. But you can run into situations where things go wrong. Overall, I haven't had that many bad experiences. Like, for me, it was especially when I was still using my turntables, and a lot of DJs here in the Netherlands switched to CDJs. It became a point where I would contact clubs, and it was clear that when I came to the club, they still had turntables, but they clearly just got those turntables from the basement or the attic, like a bunch of dust on them. They hadn't been used in a long time. Then at a certain point, I started to know, it's like, hey, it's becoming a little bit less trustworthy. Now, luckily, when I started to play with DVS, with First Final Scratch, then Serato, you're depending a little bit less on the turntables, but they still have to give you a good signal. Now with Phase, I don't have to worry about that a lot at all. But yeah, I decided to trust club equipment to a certain degree, because otherwise I'd have to carry everything everywhere. But I understand there are that you have a certain hesitation when it comes to that. I have to scroll up for a second. I saw someone talk about something with training sessions. Do you do one-on-one training sessions? So like Omar, so like DJ lessons? No, at the point, not at all. Oh, Louis, I missed that. Stay safe. Stay safe. But Omar, no, I don't do that right now. I'm going to release a DJ course. I do my Saturday sessions scratch videos online, where I post a video where I scratch and I leave gaps so other DJs you can just watch at home and scratch when I'm not scratching. So we're doing a back and forth, but no one-on-one training sessions right now. No, that is something that I will do in the future, but I'm talking years down the road. Let's see if Denon Prime puts their motorized platters on the standalone unit. Yeah, that's what I meant. Like that's what I talked about. Like if they would make that Rane One standalone, so basically if you take a Prime and put motorized platters in there, you're gonna get the same effect. That would be super dope. Super dope. All right, back down. One stop. What up? Yeah, De La has a couple of up-tempo joints. Like, yeah, you have like some of the old Big Daddy Kane. It's hip-hop from that era, when you also had like the New Jack Swing era, where they were really into that up-tempo sound. People were like doing a lot of the fast dances, the running mans in the club. You had more up-tempo. Leon, what up? I'm a DJ too. Yes, there's a lot of DJs in this chat. Always. This is all about DJs, and we are in here. Leon, different Leon. Salute to you. So we got two Leons. Oh, one stop. Try not to update my iOS. Recently did. So you mean OS on Mac? iOS is for your phone, but you probably mean Big Sur, right? Like Eli says, stay away from that. Mixmaster G as well. Like Mac OS, the Big Sur, Serato is not working with it yet. So yeah, that is an issue. Do you prefer Rane 12, 72 or Phase? Phase all day. All day. And I really like the 12 and 72 combo, but you just are more limited. First off, you have to bring those everywhere you go, because at least here, Rane 12s are not at clubs, so you have to bring that entire set. If you have it at home and you have that set up, and you decide that you want to play some vinyl, you cannot do that on a Rane 12. It is just a controller. With phase, all I need is 2 turntables, and I'm good to go. So, of course, and a mixer, but any 2 turntables are good. Bang. Phase works perfectly for me. And if I want to play some real vinyl, like I'm going to do every last crates of the month, then I can play real vinyl on a turntable. So, yeah, I really like that. STV 110, 120 was more a 2000 thing. No, not 2000s. Way earlier. Way earlier. Like, you may have, of course, you in every era you had a couple of tracks. Not in the golden era. Yeah, definitely in the golden era, bro. That's like I said, like we were talking about De La and some of those Big Daddy Kane joints and Kid and Play My Way. That's like 115 or something like that. That era. Then you had like that type of sound. Damn, is my let me just see. I don't have a lot here. While we're going at it, I'm just gonna open my laptop, open Serato here for a second. I don't have most of my crates in my Serato, but I'll just open it up and just go to that tempo for a second. So Tim Cook, the Q drift thing is a question I've received a lot when we're discussing phase. My answer was actually always no. I did recently though shoot I did a recording for a Saturday sessions, not the recording that ended up on YouTube 2 Saturdays ago, but during that session was like the only time I noticed that there was sort of a Q drift. But actually normally no, like the session that came online, I did that with phase, didn't really notice it. I don't notice it when I'm playing, and like all my live stream sessions that where I'm mixing, like the last whatever 20 sessions were all with phase, I never notice it. So if it's there, it's negligible. It's minimal. It's not something that bothers me. But yes, I've definitely seen the stories. I mean, we can't lie. There's plenty of DJs who had a lot of issues with phase. I'm just not one of them. I was not one of the first to step in, so I definitely missed out on the first bugs because there were bugs in the beginning. MWM, the company behind phase, has been very active in releasing updates in the last couple of years. So they're truly trying to make sure that it's working as good as it can. Watch my live streams if you haven't already. I'm DJing with phase. Like, I will fully depend on that system. Like, I trust it to the fullest. So for me, the experience has been amazing. So again, just watch me when I do my live streams. That's all phase. And I'm doing all of my mixing, scratching. I do some juggling, backspinning, beat cuts. It all feels really good to me. All right, let me open this up. So let me do this. Now, these are just a couple of crates. So if I open my hip hop crate for hip hop from 2000 to 2010, 104 BPM, 105, 106, 107. I have like a couple of tracks at 110. So you got like, for instance, like a Joe Budden featuring Busta Rhymes, Fire. Nas with Genuine, You Owe Me. Nick Cannon, Busta Rhymes, Shorty's at 110. I don't know, maybe that's a missed one. And then I have like a couple of Joe Budden again, Touch and Go. That's a 111. And a couple of 113, but not a lot. Now let me see my 1980 to 1989. So that's the 80s. Then you got artists like you got Rob Bass, Easy Rock with the It Takes Two. That's like a 111. You got Public Enemy, Welcome to the Terror Dome, 111. You got Man Paris, Boogie Down Bronx, 111. LL Cool J, Jingling Baby, 111. Grandmaster Flash, Adventures of Grandmaster Flash. Big Daddy Kane Raw, 111. Public Enemy, Bring the Noise, 110. Heavy D, I'm Flexing, 110. That's Jeff Fresh Prince, Can't Wait to Be With You, 19. Let's go up a bit. Two Live Crew, Break It On Down, 112. Dominatrix, Sleep Tonight, 112. Rob Ace, Easy Nate, The Abachat, let's see. Sugar Hill Gang, Rappers Delight, 112. Dayla, Me, Myself, and I, 113. Heavy D, Let It Flow, 113. That's what I'm talking about, bro. That's the era right there. You got that. You can see I can talk on, I can go on. Me, Myself, and I is 114. Egyptian Lover, What Is a DJ, 114. Heavy D, We Got Our Own Thing, 114. Grandmaster Flash, White Lights, 115. Man Parish Hip Hop Bebop, 115. Nucleus, Jam On It, 116. Public Enemy, Burn Hollywood Burn, 116. Queen Latifah, Dance For Me, 116. Beastie Boys, Brass Monkey, 117. Chuck Chill Out, I'm Large, 117. So, I mean, it's still not like crazy amounts. It's not like when you go with a lot of house genres, it's like all gonna be like 120 or 128. Like, it's not like that. Big Daddy Kane set it up, 119. Grandmaster Flash, Scorpio, and we're already at the 123. And in the 90s, you also have, so there is like, I don't even remember in the question if you were looking for hip hop, right? So yeah, but like at a certain point, we started to get, like, you had a lot of hip hop, like in like the mid 90s BPM range, up to maybe 100. Then of course, like later with trap and stuff, you had like a lot of 70 BPM and 140 BPM. Nowadays, it's kind of all over the place. But then again, in the 90s era, if we go up to that 110 type level, let me see. I got to scroll quite a bit to get there. Let's see. I think it's not going to be as much as in the 80s either, though, bro. It's okay. Again, De La Soul, Say No Go. Rob Bass, Joy and Pain. Tim Dog, Step To Me, that's all 110. Ultimate Magnetic MCs, Papa Large, 110. LL Cool J, Legal Search, 111. Missy, She's a Bitch, 111. Ultimate Magnetic, Give the Drummer Some, 111. Yeah, Digital Underground, Kiss Me, Kiss You Back, 113. Tough Crew, My Part It Down, 114. Black Sheep, Strobe Light Honey, 115. Dayla again, with Roller Skating Jam. I mean, yeah. Chubb Rock, Treat Me Right, or Treat 'Em Right, my bad, 116. Airbnb Rakim, Know the Ledge. Yeah, man, there's some. So 80s, 90s, in the 2000s, not as much. This era, not that much. It's just not really our, I'm speaking for hip hop, our BPM that much. The 110, 120 range. Yeah, like if you say like, hey, I need some hip hop that's like 95 BPM, man, you're gonna be busy for a long time. Yeah. DJ Born, what's good? DJ Stray 6, what up? Louis Aranda, what's going on? See, this always happens. Mr. Paradise, what up? You always have like new peeps jumping in. Alan Edwards, what up? And new peeps, I mean like we've been here for a while. Now you're joining us. Have you experienced AI technology for music for inspiration? No, not really. So I can't really say a lot about that. I mean, I can see how it is a thing and that it could be a growing thing where they'll invent some, or maybe it's already there, some sort of like computerized. Oh, my bad. I didn't see that was on screen. Some kind of computerized DJ computer system that has like a crowd scanner and AI that can tell like if a crowd reacts this way, then the computer will play that type of music. I mean, it's not that hard to imagine that you could create or program something like that. But it doesn't interest me that much yet. If I run into something, I mean, it's interesting enough that I'll watch it, but I'm not going out and really looking for it yet. Did I miss anything else up here? I don't think so. Let's see. Phase a few months ago, One Stop a few months ago. It used to jump back once in a while, but I haven't noticed it recently. So that might be that it's fixed through an update. That's possible. Once up to dip into your 60 BPM bag. Yeah, I mean, that is a trick that I will do from time to time. Like if I need to switch from some sort of fast tempo. I did it a couple of episodes ago during my live stream. I was playing UK Garage, and I think I was up at like 128 or 130, and then I wanted to switch back, and then I just found some hip hop that was like 64. And you can blend that with like a 128. That's going to work just fine. Some people say, yeah, but you're going to have snares in different places. That doesn't matter. That really doesn't matter, because not all rhythms have that snare in one spot. So if one is 60, one is 128, one is 64, one is 128. You're going to hear snares in between the snares, but they're right at the right time in between. They're at like half in between, always coming in at that same count. Like, it doesn't matter. It works. I've done it plenty of times, and it works. Yeah, man. DJ Spin Vixen. Salute. Thanks for following. So see, now you're going to see me just now take the next super small sip. Presley says, how do you feel about, oh, DJ B-Rock, my bad. How do you feel about streaming music? What way are you talking? Are you talking about DJs live streaming, or are you talking about listening to music from a streaming platform? So let me know how you mean it, because I do both. So as a DJ, I use streaming to just get out there, have fun, and interact with people, play music I want to play, and attract a crowd. So I live stream. I do it every Monday on Mixcloud and on Twitch and Periscope, twice a month on Friday as well. And I definitely consume my music through streaming platforms now. I mean, I'm not in record stores looking for new music. Like, you get your content online. I mean, you can go to stores, but most likely you will do that after you hear something from a streaming platform. So I'm on Spotify, I'm on Tidal, of course, YouTube, SoundCloud, you name it. So yeah, that's how I do consume my music. And live streaming for me is just the perfect outlet. As a DJ, especially in these times, but even when we're out of this pandemic, I will continue to do this. This is the perfect outlet for DJs, being able to stream your music. Just be yourself, mix, and if people find you and like what you do, you can actually build a fan base there as well. If you already have a fan base, you can now give them some of you during the times that they're not able to see you in clubs. I love it. And I talked about this before, and I'll say that every single time. The freedom that I feel during live streams is amazing. Playing out from your own spot, not worrying about if you're emptying the dance floor. This is all about you being you. That's it for me, at least. Let's see what Swen says. My plan is using phase on club turntables. I think the most weak point is the needle. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I did a gig last year, and I talked to the technical guy at the venue before I went there, because I knew we were going to be playing with 3 DJ sets most likely. One was on CDJs, and I knew the other DJ was most likely going to be on turntables. Now, we can switch, but it would be easier if we all have our own set. So I called, and he was like, yeah, I have 2 more turntables, but one of the turntables, yeah, the arm is not really that steady. I don't totally trust it. I was like, is it spinning? Yeah. Cool. That's all I needed. I didn't have to worry about the tone arm. I didn't have to worry about the RCA cables, about the needles. All that thing needed to do is spin. Now, of course, if you run into turntables, it doesn't happen to me that much now. There was a point in time when I was DJing out that I would always run into turntables that have been messed with, because a lot of times what DJs would do here, I don't know how it is in other countries, at a certain point, a lot of DJs started to mess with turntables in clubs and mess with the pitch, because they wanted to increase the pitch. They wanted to have it higher. They would mess with the pitch for different reasons. Some would like take out the on the Technics SL1200, the Mark IIs, when you get to 0, it had like a click. It would click into place. Some DJs didn't like that, and they would like mess with their turntables to get rid of that, but they would also mess with the speed. So I would run into a lot of turntables, and like I do my turntablism while I'm playing in clubs. So I would do a lot of things with 2 copies of the same song. And I would have 2 songs, both at +2, and they were playing at totally different speeds because someone had messed with the turntables. Now, that could be the case, and if I run into turntables like that and I put on phase, then I have to make sure when I'm calibrating that everything is correct. You're going to run into issues most likely then, but I haven't had that happen. So for all that I've seen now, as long as it's spinning, phase is going to be perfect, and I don't have to worry about the things I had to worry about. RCA cables, tone arms, my needles, because I've had needles break on me because I used them too long, or because somehow the needle just wasn't perfect. Sometimes you would have a bad connection and I could not figure out what it was. And you could just see in Serato, like, hey, the signal is muddy. Your vinyl could be too dirty or scratched up. With phase, I don't have to worry about any of those things. As long as that turntable spins, I can play. That's what I really like. That I should have the safety of my own equipment and the convenience of using the club equipment, best of both worlds. Yeah, I mean, that's an option too. Like, if you're willing to always carry around your equipment, and I know DJs like that who always have a set of turntables in the car, that's the thing. You can't do that. At a certain point, I just didn't feel like doing it anymore. I've had too many years of carrying crates with vinyl and flight cases and the whole 9. At a certain point, you're like, yo. That's why I was so happy when I started to play with DVS. Like, I didn't have to carry the vinyl anymore. And now if I can only bring like my mixer and phase and a laptop, yes, love it. Do you think this streaming will K live gigs? What do you mean? I'm gonna try and translate. Did you mean saying if I think streaming will kill live gigs? DJ Born. So type that again, please, just to make sure I get the question right. What's the time, by the way? I'm not even paying attention. All right, let's go. There's a couple more questions. We're gonna go through those questions, and then I gotta be out, not out, but stop the stream, because I actually still have a lot of work to do. DJ Born, both what? Streaming will kill live gigs? If that's the question, if I think streaming will kill live gigs, no, never. No, but I do believe that there's definitely a place for both. That's why I say, like, even when we're out of total lockdowns and back to partying, like some people will already be doing, but a lot of places aren't. We're currently in a heavy lockdown, just been extended for more weeks. It might be extended after that. It's going to be a long time before we have like gigs here again. Even when that begins again, I know I'll continue to stream. I know a lot of other DJs will also continue to stream. They might not stream as much as now, because I know a lot of DJs that are streaming like at least 5 days a week. They'll probably cut that back and do live shows and streaming, but it will be both. But there is something about a live element that can never be taken away from streaming. And that's not even about us, the DJs, but about people. People will want to interact with people. So if people have the chance to go somewhere where other people are, they will do that. So imagine, even if all DJs decide to live stream, then the crowd would still find ways to come together and watch that live stream together. I mean, but no, that's not going to happen. At the end of the day, that good old interaction between DJ and crowd seeing the DJ, that's not going away. It's not going away. It's going to be both. And yeah, Mixmaster G, I used to do that, but at that time I wasn't on Twitch. It was Facebook, and it kept cutting my streams off, so I stopped doing it. I did it on Periscope though, so I was doing that. Like I was like a couple of years ago, playing live gigs, and then I would just use my phone and stream while I was playing. And I mean, that worked as well. That was fun to do as well. And I would always have like people from other countries, because at that time, of course, I was playing here. I had people that knew me from online, and they could never see me play because they're not here. So that was the perfect way for me to kind of bring them into my sets. So I was streaming that way. I did the same thing 10 years ago on radio. I was DJing on the radio, and I would have their webcam that they had connected to Ustream, and then I could still have them join. So let me just see real quick, just if I can show this. I don't think they're there anymore. I think the quality of those old gigs was so horrible that I may have deleted them. Really? Did I take them out? I was just looking at Periscope to see if some of these old ones were still here. I don't think they're there anymore, because I used to use that. Oh, wait, it might be because I'm not logged in. I think I have them on hidden mode. Let me see if I can log in while we're doing this over here. Am I logged in now? Yes, I am. Can I see my other older gigs? Just wanted to show y'all. No, maybe I deleted them already. But anyways, I used to do that, and I'll definitely do that again. When I start doing certain gigs, I'll add live streaming to it. And that's not that hard. And even if I use my phone, I'll do it with, for instance, like I don't have an iRig, but I could use an iRig, or I'll use my iPhone 2 USB adapter and connect it to an audio interface. There's plenty of ways to do it. So yes, heavy lockdown in Montreal and a curfew. That's what they're currently discussing over here in the Netherlands. They're looking at the options for a curfew. So they're talking to experts right now to advise them on the benefits, if there are benefits to having a curfew. So that might happen here as well. I take always my mixer and controller tractor for safety. Yeah, I mean, you can definitely do that if you have the room and if you don't mind carrying extra stuff. It's great to have a backup. I know DJs who play digitally who always bring 2 laptops. I don't do that, but I know a lot of DJs who not a lot, but I've seen online a lot of DJs talk about that. Now, it all depends on what it is, though. Like, if I was doing like mobile gigs and I was doing weddings and stuff like that, I would want to be ultra prepared. It's a different type of thing. It's you don't want to ruin a couple's like most special day by being the DJ at their wedding, and then your laptop crashes and you can't play music. So if I was doing that type of gigs, I would have 2 laptops, a main setup, an extra controller, you name it. I would have the whole shebang there. Jazzy Jeff used to do the same thing. Indeed, he had to have a flight case, like Lowe says, Sukram, with 2 laptops. I don't know if he still does it. There's always a transition point where DJs have to build up a certain amount of trust for equipment to be like, okay. I had the same thing. I used to play when I started to play with Final Scratch, and even with Serato, I would still bring 1 crate of vinyl, like not an open crate, like one of those smaller crates. It's here, but it's somewhere behind other stuff. I would still bring like 1 crate of vinyl just in case, because I didn't want to trust totally on a computer. What if the computer crashes? So I would have some vinyl. And at a certain point, you build up enough trust and you're like, yo, it is what it is. If I ever do run into some sort of issue, that's it. And there's like a more simple backup than carrying like vinyl. Oh, that's definitely not going to be in focus. Okay. I'm holding a flash drive in my hand. That is way too small. But you can have a flash drive with files prepared in record box. Here in the Netherlands, like most clubs have CDJs. I'll be on turntables, but there's most likely going to be a CDJ set. So that is one way that I can have a backup ready. And Algorithm DJ on iOS has been Mixmaster G's backup since it came out. That is also an option. I mean, I have all of that software. I just haven't ever built any crates. So I should have like at least one good crate on my phone to deal with that. I haven't done that. But that is also an option. Now, of course, if there's an internet connection, I could use Algorithm and I could just use BeatSource Link and then have my tracks in there. So the options are getting better, but having some form of backup is good. Let's see, what's it? What's this? That's my side says, just found out that DJ Reese Roundtree out of Sacramento passed away. Oh, that's sad news. That is. I heard something about DJ Reese. I forgot what it was. I haven't been consuming that much content. I've been busy with other things, so I have kind of missed out. But I remember hearing the name. I don't know what the situation or story was. Now I don't even I haven't had iTunes on any device for forever, man. And I've never used iTunes to make playlists. Never liked it. Never liked it. Even when iTunes used to be inside all of the DJ software so you could see your iTunes in your library. No, that was never my thing. It just really wasn't. But yeah, I do need to have a crate ready in my phone. All right, let's wrap this up, yo. It is 9:30 over here. Let's see. Okay, so that is an option. Use the DJ conversion utility to make an iTunes playlist out of Serato. So then I wouldn't even have to use iTunes at all, Mixmaster G. That means I could just use your tool and have it. No, I still need to have it on the phone to sync it with iOS, right? And it's not called iTunes anymore, right? Or can you still download iTunes as well? Okay, no, I don't need it. Okay, I'll when I get around to doing that, I'll hit you up, or I'll just check the conversion tool and see if it makes sense to me already. You need it on Mac OS, but I don't have Apple right now. I mean, I have Apple products, but not Apple computer right now. So that's not an option for me. Just the iPhone and the iPad. Oh, I can't use the conversion tool at all then, the utility. Was that Mac only? Yeah, when I first got it, I had my my Mac. To be honest, there is the likelihood that I'll be using Mac again is out of this world. I mean, I'm very happy with my studio computer. I'll continue to use that, but I also need to have something at home, and I'm not going to build like one of these beasts at home. So for me, most likely that's going to be a Mac Mini at home. Like that new Mac Mini is is a beast, and then I'll have both a Mac system and Windows system. Tommaso, good to see you. I wanted to say buongiorno, but it's not that time. It's night already. What's that in Italian again? Good night. I mean, I almost wanted to say buonanotte, but that's papiamento. That's not Italian. Buonanotte. Almost there. Like papiamento, that's the language that they speak on Curacao. It's a Caribbean island, and that's like a mixture of Dutch, English, and Spanish. And I always like to do association. So when I see stuff in different languages, you can a lot of time see parts of words. So like I said, in papiamento, it's going to be buonanotte, and that's kind of comparable to the Italian. You can hear the same thing in there. Let's see. No, but Mixmaster G, I don't plan to run Windows on that Mac Mini. That's not my intent. The Mac Mini will be just Apple. That's what it's going to be. So that's not my thing. I've never used Boot Camp and Windows on my Mac devices anyway. So it's that's going to be strictly an Apple system. But yeah, man. I mean, the price on the new devices is crazy, and I understand that they're gonna have their more powerful versions coming with the M1X chips in there. But what you can do with the Mac Mini is already plenty for what I need. Be aware of Big Sur and M1. Yeah, I mean, I still hear people warning, but I've seen, like, up to this point, I've seen so many videos of people using like the M1 Max, like the Mac Mini and the Air and the Pro, with like all of the software, like not Serato, but like a bunch of the software I use, from like all the video editing tools, music tools, and getting like beastly performance already, even though a lot of that isn't even optimized for that software yet. So it's only going to be better, and for that price point, it's a great option. So the Windows computer here will be the main studio tool, but like the Mac Mini, just with the size, to have that at home and still have like a beast of a computer in that small box is a great thing. Yeah, Ivan, like you said, like Buenos Nachos. Instead of the Buenos Noches, you got the Buenos Nachos. Yeah, man, the Eli, I feel you, man. I feel you. But yeah, it's not like it's gonna happen in the next couple of days or weeks, though. I don't have any cash laying around for that, but I know it's gonna happen soon. You may have gotten this question: will you test out the new Rane controller? Now we've discussed the Rane One, but I actually didn't talk about that. I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get my hands on one, and if I can, I will definitely test it. I will definitely test it if I can get my hands on it. So that remains to be the question for now, but it looks very interesting. That's a fact. All right, let's call it a day. I'll be back here on Sunday for plugging in. Gonna give it the second try to share my whatever I'm working on with you then. So if you're here on a Sunday, plugging in is my show where I'll be behind the computer, and you're gonna catch me either editing videos, making beats, or testing new plugins, you name it, and show you some of my workflow. Just see me work, or test something for the first time. And if you're into that stuff, I might be asking you questions, because maybe I'm going to be using something that you're already familiar with that I've never used before, you name it. When it comes to mixing to music, I'll be back here on Monday, and that's every Monday. So I'll be here for Crates. Let me just pull that up so you can have it on screen already. Don't I have it anymore? Where's my stream ending? Oh, there we go. So I'll be here on Monday with Crates doing some music, and then again on Wednesday with the STK live. And next Friday I'll also be back. I have to adjust that on the screen here. Next Friday I'll also be back with my certified bangers, but not this Friday. That's why it's not in this list now. All right, I'm gonna cut that off. That's perfect timing. That music stopped. That's because my iPad the battery just died. So the iPad is telling me, homie, it's time. You have to stop. And Sven says, and in good German words, eine schöne Abend noch. Yes, indeed. Or like we would say in Dutch, goedenavond, which is basically the same as, or schönen Abend would actually be more like mooie Avond. And goedenavond would be like a guten Abend. Same thing. All right, SQ Squad, you just got here. Well, you're just in time to say bye, because we've been here for the last 2.5, and I got to bounce. I got to get back to work here. Still got a ton of work to do. Got a ton of beats that I have to, that I made on iMachine, that I have to import into Machine and work on a bit, so I can send them out for Brainpower to listen to, See if there's something in there he can use to make some new dopeness. And I still have to finish the beat that I'm going to use for the upcoming Saturday session. That's this Saturday. So I'm shooting that tomorrow or Friday. So I have to get that beat ready. 3 hours and 18 minutes? It's not. Wait, that's not possible. That counter is off. That's because I had Stream Elements open for that long, because I started at 7 and it's now 9:30, so that's 2.5 hours. So Stream Elements is lying to you. It was just on for that time. Yeah, Twitch says 2:26. Yeah, it's I started at, no, that's accurate. It didn't start at 7. I started a little bit after 7. So yeah, almost 2.5 hours. That's it for the day. So I'll see you next week, or you can catch me on Sunday, Monday. You see that schedule right there. I'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks for joining me in the chat. Peace out, and fade to black.